boys and girls. So I promised to read 2 chapters today because yesterday I didn't get a chance to read for you guys, and we are on chapter 6. So I'll continue to read this until I'm completely done with the story. Even if school is out, I want to finish this this actual story. Okay, so Tyreville. Gosh, Stanley said, it makes me homesick in a way, except for its size and the lack of greenness. The Tyran capital was indeed much like a small village on Earth. A main street bustled with Tyran shopping and running errands. There were handsome school and public buildings, 2 churches with spires as high as Mr. Lambchop's waist, and side streets of pretty houses with lawns like neat brown postage stamps. Captain Ick, still angry, marched on ahead, but the rest of the committee halted at the head of Main Street. Well, just show you around, said President Oat. Safer, I think. The Lambchop saw at once the risk of walking streets scarcely wider than their feet. Escorted by the committee, they circled the little capital, bending often to make use of their magnifying lenses. Mrs. Oat took care of indicate points of particular interest among them, Uxfield and a sports center, Admiral, Ux Square, Ux Park, and the Ux Science Center building. Mrs. Oates' grandfather, whispered General Lapp, very rich. The tour caused a great stir. Everywhere the tiny citizens of the Tyreville waved from windows and rooftops. At the Science Center, the last stop, journalists took photographs and the Lambchops were treated to grape fazzola, the Tyran national drink, hundreds of bottles of which were emptied into 4 tubs to make Earth-sized portion. Refreshed by his fazzola, Arthur took a little run and hurdled a large part of Tyreville, landing in Ux Square. Arthur, Mrs. Lambchop scolded, and he hurtled back. Aren't kids the dickens? Said the Tyran mother, looking on. Mine. Stop tugging, Herbert. These last words seemed addressed to the ground beside her. My youngest, she explained. Stanley squinted. I can hardly. He's just a dot. Dot yourself, said the angry voice. Biggeroony. You're the funny-looking one. Herbert, his mother said, it is rude to make fun of people for their shape or size. As I said myself often when Stanley was flat, Miss Lambchop exclaimed, if only surrender, Earth people. The cry had come from the Captain Ick, who appeared now from behind the Science Center, staggering beneath the weight of a box-like machine almost as big as he was, with a tube sticking out of it. Surrender, he shouted. You cannot resist our magno-titanic paralyzer ray. Tyra will yet be saved. There's a truth, Ick, barked General Lapp. You can't. Yes, I can. First. Oops, Captain Ick's knees had buckled, but he recovered himself. First, I'll paralyze the one who scared me back there in the field. Yellow light flickered up at Arthur from the magno-titanic paralyzer. Yikes, said Arthur, as shrieks rose from the crowd. But it was not on Arthur that the magno-titanic beam landed. Stanley had sprung forward to protect his brother, and the light shone now on his chest and shoulders. Mrs. Lambchop almost fainted. Suddenly her fright was gone. Stanley was smiling, the yellow rays still flickering upon him. He rolled his head and wiggled his hands to show that he was fine. It's nice, actually, he said, like a massage. The crowd hooted. It only works on people Tyran size. Someone called, You're a ninny ick. You're a ninny ick, sorry. Then Captain Ick was marched off by the Tyreville policemen, and the crowd, still laughing, drifted away. Mrs. Lambchop spoke sternly to the committee. Tyra will yet be saved. What did Captain Ick mean? And why, pray Pray tell, did he attempt to paralyze my son? The Otts and General App exchanged glances. Dr. Epp stared at the ground. Ah, said President well, the fact is, we're having a crisis, actually. Yes, and well, oh, tell them. Mrs. Oat burst suddenly into tears. About the super grow. Tell, for heaven's sake. Puzzled, the lamb chop stared at her. The sky had darkened, and now a light rain began to fall. Wettish, ugh, said General Epp. Can't offer shelter, I'm afraid. No place large enough. The Star Scout will do nicely, said Miss Lambchop. Let us return to it for now, for tea. Okay, so this was chapter 6. I'm going to go ahead and post it so the video is not too long. And then I will go ahead and read you guys chapter 7. So here they are. They're visiting Tyreville, and, you know, the captain, Ick, decided that he was not going to be nice, and he wanted to actually use something that was a paralyzer. Do you guys know what a paralyzer is? A paralyzer... Well, paralyzed means to hurt someone where they can no longer move certain parts of their body. So, like, if their legs are paralyzed, that means they can't move their legs anymore. Their arms are paralyzed, they can't move their arms. So, what he wanted to do was he wanted to use a Magno-Titanic paralyzer. It's like a ray, which was a light device. Like, have you guys ever gone to, like, what is it called? Taser? Like, to some kind of a taser place where they use taser guns and you guys have fun with them? Well, it's almost like that kind of a light, but it didn't hurt him because that light was made for little people, like the tire, what are they called? The tire people, right? Because they're really tiny, remember? So it didn't work on the humans, the big humans. All right, I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're already on chapter 7, and I'm going to start in the next video. Bye, guys.